Thank you for watching Ebony Ladies in the DR. I'm your host, Bridget. Bienvenidos a mi canal. Gracias por mirar. Hi, everybody. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share my channel and turn on your notification bell so you can get your daily tip every day from an expat for the rest of 2025. All right. Okay. So I've been doing a lot of consultations, and the same question keeps coming up about financing. Okay. I did a video a couple of years ago, and it was really financing, and it was for different projects only in Vista Cana. I never did a video talking about financing in general. So let's see, where do we start? Okay. Financing here in the Dominican Republic is hard. That's why I recommend save your money, come here, buy. And no, that's not an option for everybody to come and pay cash, but try to stick within your budget. You know, like if this, especially if this is going to be a second home for you, stick within your budget. Get something that you can pay cash for now. But if this is, you are relocating and you want some financing to help you get your dream villa or whatever the case may be, financing is going to be tricky. All right. So if you are, doesn't matter if you have a residency or citizenship or whatever, you are still eligible to apply for financing. If you have residency, especially citizenship, so cedula, residency, Dominican passport, citizenship, as a foreigner, then it would make getting a loan that much easier and is going to get you a better interest rate. So you say, we don't have none of that, Bridget. I don't have that. You know, I come in there, I need a loan. Okay, then if you do not have either one of those things, the interest rate, be prepared, is going to be anywhere from 8% interest on a loan for a mortgage to 14% interest. Now, 8% low end, I heard, is in Santo Domingo. I'm not going to name the bank because they don't like us putting their names on YouTube. I'm not sure why, but I've already been through that, so we can't say which bank it is in Santo Domingo. So that is going to be, do your research, find out, and share it with others on your own, okay? But only in Santo Domingo. I have not found or heard of any bank in Punta Cana that would lend money to a foreigner at 8%. They will on upwards, 10, 12, 14%. That is the interest rate that I am hearing from foreigners who are trying to get a loan. I have only heard of one getting approved for a loan, and it was 14%. They had to provide, I think it was 2 years tax return. They had to show that they owned property. This is strictly United States. I don't know what the other countries are doing or what they are requiring from them. This is for people who are coming from the United States and are trying to get financing. They required the 2 years tax return. They required the bank statements for a year and a half showing where the money was coming from. They're like their pension, Social Security, VA, whatever the case may be. A year and a half, 18 months. And then you had to show where you own property in the United States 2 times the amount of what you're trying to buy here. And when I say owned, that you cannot have a mortgage on it, no equity home or equity loans on it. It needs to be paid off free and clear. And they are going to request that documentation. And from my understanding, they actually went in, verified, did the research, make sure all the paperwork and everything was legit. The process was, they said, from 20 to 30 days. 20 days is when they first started hearing back from the bank saying, okay, we need this. Okay, we got a question about this. But the whole process was just about 31 days, they said. And they got the full amount that they were asking for because they were able to show that they own property in the United States worth 2 times the amount that they were trying to borrow here. Now, that's a lot, especially if you are trying to get, you know, a villa here that's upwards of, you know, $300,000-$400,000 or even more. And, you know, so you need to show that you own a property free and clear in the United States of five, six, $700,000 in the United States. Okay, but financing is here. Now, there are different types of finances within different projects. So that is something you will have to talk over with the builder to see if they would finance for you, outside of the contract, or put it in the contract that it would extend paying off the property a little bit longer. Because the standard here, I think, is when you sign the contract, they offer a deal like $1,000 reserve, 2,000, 5,000 reserve. But then in 30 days, I think now majority of the larger projects, they want 30%, within 30 days. So then they'll put you on a payment plan. So if the payment plan, from what I have seen, they are still extremely high. So if you need longer than, because a lot of properties are saying 2 years completion date or 3 years completion date, and it's been you can add a year on to whatever they're saying. So I would say add the year on, and then have them restructure or recalculate, correct word, recalculate what you're going to be paying for monthly. And so that way, I'm sure they're going to put some kind of little fee in there, but it's not going to be 14% interest. And I have not heard that here they do the standard mortgage loan, no 30-year. I don't even think you get a 15-year here. I think the max that I have heard from a couple of banks is 8 years of financing. So y'all know how it go. Whatever the purchase price is, times the 14% plus the 14% interest, times this many years, divided by that many years. You know what I'm saying? Woo, child, save your money, come here, pay cash within your budget. But okay, again, I know not an option for everybody. So that is the answer to that question. For financing, yes, it's available. Yes, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, because it's going to be anywhere from 8% to 14%. And get ready with those documents. Be prepared to tell all your business, because they want to know all your financial business in order to give you a loan. And people are asking me why. Why is that? Well, you don't have credit. You don't have credit here. They don't know you. There's no track record of you here paying bills and doing things. SAPIM really does not count. Claro really does not count. Those things are not helping you to build credit here in the Dominican Republic, right? So yeah, they're going to charge you a high interest rate. But from my understanding, it's not just foreigners that are getting that high interest rate if they don't have any credit. Local Dominicans are being charged a high interest rate, but at the same time, they can show a little bit more stability, so they are getting somewhat of a break, but not all of them, but the majority, yes. So somewhat of a break, but they feel like foreigners will pick up and leave at any moment, leave the house, quit paying the mortgage, and those things have already happened. But not here in Punta Cana, up north, the North Coast. There are a couple, and I don't know if they call them foreclosures. I don't know how they actually deal with it, which is a good question. Because sometimes, like we do in the States, you can check with the bank, or there's a website where all you got to do is pay the taxes, or it's a foreclosure, whatever the case may be. So that is something that I would strongly recommend people doing when moving abroad, not just coming to Dominican Republic. Check with the local banks, check with realtors. Realtors might not want to help you with that, because they're not going to really get any commission. But check with the tax office, check with the banks, check with people that and ask, what's that process look like? Are there properties that people just quit paying on that I can get cheaper, and I could get financing on, if that's the case? But there are a lot of options. There is financing out there for you, but just at a higher price. So I hope that answers your question about getting financing here in the Dominican Republic. Okay, but don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Regular episodes every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have a question or a comment that I haven't answered in one of my I think y'all have done probably over 700 videos in the last 5 years, 6 years. So if I haven't answered that question, because things do come up, things do need to be revisited, because everything is changing every single day, and I got to stay on top of it. Okay, but that's this video. Questions, comments, put them down there, and I will be happy to answer them. Until tomorrow for your daily tip from an expat. I will see you then. Take care.